Stop asking your fear for directions. Boy, I don't think anyone in here does that, right? We're all perfect souls, yes. So family, there are times or moments when you know exactly what you need to do. You know the conversation you need to have. You know the decision you need to make. You know it's time to apply for the position, start the business, leave what's been draining you, ask for help, tell the truth, or take one step toward the life that's been calling you. You can see it. You can name it. Sometimes you even have evidence of it that it could work. But then fear enters the conversation. What if you fail? What will people think? What if you can't maintain it? What if you lose what you already have? And before long, you're no longer making a decision. You're asking fear for directions. And fear will always give you the same direction. Stay where you are. Don't risk anything. Don't trust what you see. Don't move until there's no possibility of disappointment. And because fear sounds serious, because it lists every danger, because it thinks of everything that could go wrong, we sometimes call it wise or wisdom. But being afraid doesn't make you wise. Expecting the worst doesn't make you prepared. And thinking of every reason something could fail doesn't mean you've seen the whole truth. That's why the story in the book of Numbers, chapter 13, matters. The children of Israel have reached the edge of the promised land, the land God had promised them. Moses sends Caleb and 11 other spies to see what's there. And they come back with evidence. They return carrying fruit. And the Bible says the grapes were so large, I love using that word, so large that 2 men carried one cluster between them on a pole. The evidence was in their hands. The promise wasn't hidden. But they also saw fortified cities. They saw giants and strong people. They saw what would be difficult. And 10 of the spies allowed the difficulty to define the promise. They said, the land is good, but we cannot take it. The fruit is real, but the people there are stronger than we are. We look like grasshoppers in our own eyes. Notice that. They didn't say the land had no fruit. They brought the fruit back with them. They didn't deny that the promise existed. They decided the promise wasn't for them. The fruit was in their hands, but they let the giants tell them what the fruit meant. And that's what fear does. Fear doesn't deny that something good is possible. It says somebody else can start again. Somebody else can be loved well. Somebody else can prosper. Somebody else can heal their relationship. Somebody else can speak up. Somebody else can change direction. Fear will let you believe in the promise as long as you don't believe the promise includes you. But Caleb stood up and said, let us go up at once. Not because he didn't see the giants, but because he couldn't stop seeing the fruit. He wasn't going to let the difficulty decide what's possible. He knew it was time to get moving. And that's the difference. The spies saw difficulty. Caleb saw possibility. And had the people listened to Caleb, they wouldn't have ended up wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. You see, what's in front of you must be faced, but it cannot tell you what is possible. The bank account can tell you how much is available today, but it cannot tell you the measure of your supply. The diagnosis can tell you what the body is experiencing, but it cannot tell you that spirit is already whole within you. The rejection can tell you one person said no. It cannot tell you that every door is closed. The end of a relationship can tell you something has changed, but it cannot tell you that love is finished with you. You can look directly at what's difficult without bowing to it. You can count the cost without letting the cost make the choice. You can hear the facts without hearing the fear. Because fear isn't wisdom. Fear is separation. It's what separation sounds like in your mind. Fear says you're on your own. There's not enough. You don't have what it takes. If this goes wrong, you'll have nothing left. But God in you doesn't speak from separation. God in you knows that greater life is present now. Wisdom is present now. Power is present now. And the presence of difficulty doesn't mean the absence of God. Listen, the 10 spies said, "We are like grasshoppers." There's no verse that says the people in the land called them grasshoppers. That's how they saw themselves. Fear didn't reveal the size of the giants. Fear reduced the size of the spies. And some of us are here doing that today, making the challenge larger and yourself smaller, staring at what could go wrong when what you got is already in your hands. There is something so large in your hands. You have fruit. You have evidence. You have made it through things you once thought could take you out. You have learned. You have grown. You have wisdom now you didn't have before, an idea that won't leave you alone, a desire that keeps returning. You have something in your hands that fear doesn't want you to experience. Stop letting the giants tell you what the fruit means. The fruit means that there's a life beyond what you've been settling for. It means there's still love to receive, joy to experience, greater light within you, healing from the condition, and the promise that you don't have to become smaller so that you can reach your good. And no, the fruit doesn't mean there will be no work. It doesn't mean there'll be no risk. It doesn't mean every person will understand. It means that fear doesn't get to decide what spirit has already placed in your hands. Look, there's a time to ask questions, a time to pray, a time to think, a time to gather information and review the facts. That's discernment. But there comes a moment when you know enough, and continuing to delay is no longer discernment. It's fear wearing the clothes of wisdom. Then the question is not, what if this goes wrong? But what is mine to do? Not what will everybody think, but can I live with myself if I keep refusing what I know is true? Family, your fear doesn't know where your life is going. It only knows where you've been. It keeps using old pain to draw a map of your future. It keeps using the last disappointment, the last disagreement, the last betrayal, the last thing that didn't work, and telling you, go this way. But God in you will not use your past to direct your future. The facts may shake you. What you face may feel bigger than you, but it is not bigger than the life of God within you. So the next time fear explains your future, ask yourself, am I receiving information or am I surrendering my power? Ask, am I hearing the facts or am I hearing the fear? Ask, what fruit is already in my hands? Fear is false evidence appearing real. It can make noise. It can remind you of what happened to somebody else before, but it cannot decide your direction. It cannot tell you who you are. God in you knows the way. Turn inward to your source. You have seen the giants. Now look at the fruit and remember what is true. The life of God is already within you. So stop asking your fear for directions. You have the promise. You have the evidence. Trust God in you to show you the way and get moving. I believe you can. Are you willing to do this with me today? Yes. Thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend James. That so reminds me of something my grandmother told me once. She was getting on in years and actually about to pass, and she told me straight to my face, never live your life to say, what if? Fear held her back, and she never wanted that for me. And I encourage you all to live your life to never say, what if? And not let fear hold you back. And with that, Bruce Henry and the Peter Paulzak Quartet.
Let's have some fun. You only live once, and when you're dead, you know you're gone. Let the good times roll. Let those good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. You gotta let the good times roll. Don't sit mumbling, talking trash. Reach into your pocket and spend some of that cash. Let the good times roll. Yes, let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. You gotta let those good times roll. Come on, man. Underdone. Yeah. Peter Paulzak. Hey everybody, I'm back in town. I got $1.25 and I'm ready to clown. I said, don't let nobody play me cheap. I got 50 cents more than I plan to keep, and let the good times roll. Yeah, let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. You gotta let the good times roll. Come on, y'all. Hey, let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Let those good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. You gotta let the, one more time, band. Yeah, let the good times roll. I lost some of y'all on that one. Yeah, let the good times roll. Let those good times times roll. I don't care if you're young or old, you gotta let the good times roll. Listen, I don't care about the weather, gotta get myself together. I'm gonna have a natural ball, y'all. No matter what it takes, get yourself under control. And baby, let the good times roll.
Bruce Henry, everyone, in the Peter Prozac Quartet. Let's give him another hand. Yeah, yes. I'm letting the good times roll. So we've come to that time in our service where we open our hearts to give. Let's get some friction going here. And this is the time for us to come forth in our prosperity, to relieve ourselves of any fear, and to get into giving and receiving, knowing that as we give back, we sow seeds. And when we sow seeds, we reap a harvest. So get out your tithes, your offerings, your gift, and send energy from your heart into that gift. And if you're joining us online, get into this moment of prosperity. Allow yourself to sow seeds and to reap a harvest with God. And now when you're ready, we are going to say our offertory blessing together with energy. Divine love, richly flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for the blessings of this day. I am grateful for the blessings on the way. And so it is.